Hey, it's Brian Valentine again, and in this video I'm going to cover the proxy features that are built into ScrapeBox. And you know, there's certain things with internet marketing, and there's also certain things in life that you really shouldn't concern yourself with completely. When it comes down to trying to fully understand exactly how something works, I kind of call it the light switch theory. All that I need to know is that when I flick that switch on the wall, my lights are going to come on. So I'm not concerned with the wiring and the pipe that's behind the wall. I just need to know I flick that switch up and I get some lights. That's it. What I'm basically saying is proxies are one of those things. You do need to understand what they are, but you do not need to really dig down deep into the functionality behind it. All that you basically need to know is that when you're online, you're connected to a global network of computers, which is the internet, of course. And when you go to a website, you're allowing your computer to connect to a remote computer. And when you do that, you're transmitting information. It's most likely information that you don't care about, like your screen resolution or your web browser or what country you're coming from. But the most important thing that you're transmitting is your IP address. And when you're using ScrapeBox, you want to be extremely concerned about your privacy online when connecting to various websites. That's why we use a proxy. That's all. So with that said, there are basically two different types of proxies. You've got HTTP proxies and you've got SOX proxies, which is SOX 4 and 5. Mainly they're using SOX 5 proxies now, but you don't need to know about all of that. And also there's different lingo when speaking about these proxies. You've got open proxies, shared private proxies, and exclusive proxies. Any proxy that you harvest within ScrapeBox will be considered an open proxy, meaning that anyone can access these proxies and they don't even need to be ScrapeBox users. So obviously there's no telling how many people would be using these proxies all around the world. So one of my best practices tips is if you're having problems with ScrapeBox harvesting or posting comments to blogs, or if your posting is really slow and you're getting a lot of 404 error messages, it's probably a latency problem with your open proxies. And all that basically means is that your proxy's response time is way too slow, and 9 times out of 10, that's your problem right there. All right, cool. So the solution to your problem is to invest in some private proxies. I highly recommend it. I almost can't see how individuals operate without some private proxies. You've got shared proxies, which are from your private proxy provider. And that doesn't mean you're sharing them with the world. It just means that one or more customers at your private proxy provider may be using the same proxy IP class at the same time. And shared proxies are a good enough choice for most of us most of the time. However, if you don't want to share your IP address with anyone, then you want exclusive proxies. Now, exclusive proxies, which I'm sure you probably guessed by now, is that only one customer is using that one IP address. Also, when you're using a private proxy provider, regardless if it's exclusive or if it's shared, all of the proxies that they provide are anonymous. And the private proxy providers that I'm going to recommend are ProxyBonanza.com and YourPrivateProxy.com. With ProxyBonanza.com, they offer both HTTP and SOX protocol. And if you're using ProxyBonanza or Your Private Proxy's exclusive proxies, which means you're the only one with those proxies, they both have an IP authentication feature, which is real cool because you don't need to enter your username and password when you connect from a specific IP address. With ProxyBonanza's shared proxies, you need to use your username and password along with your proxies, which I'm about to show you how to use ScrapeBox's text editor to properly string together your proxies with your username and your password.